Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you my first run on the Krayt Dragon raid, which is going to consist of 6 teams, one of which I didn't post. I got little above 6.2 million damage in total with 5 teams, like I said. So it's going to change in the future. One of the teams I run is going to be nerfed soon, but I think we should take advantage of it until CG does something for it. So keep in mind I will do separate video guides later on for each of the teams, so I'm not going to go into very deep details of how each team should be run, especially considering the modding and all of that. Right now I just want to show you an overview of what you can do with each of them, so that you can have an idea of which ones you should focus on first, which one you should get to higher relic levels like relic 7, relic 8, which one you can completely ignore leveling up. Spoiler, it's going to be the Jawas. And yeah, so with that in mind, let's get going, and we'll start with the Beskar Mendo lead, the Scoundrel team. Alright, so the team is going to be Beskar Mendo lead with Django, Greedo, Gamguard, and Cad Bane. If you don't have Gamguard relic top, you can use someone else. It's any Hutt Cartel guy will work, but basically you need Hutt Cartel guys to explode the bombs on the side. They can one-shot them instead of having to go 5 hits. And the nice thing about Gamguard is that he can actually taunt, so it will force the dragon to hit him first, which is pretty good. Cad Bane is essential here. You need high potency to land the stun. So yeah, basically the dragon is going to... So I run this on tier 5, as you can see, relic 7, so the dragon is fast. I couldn't go before him, but that's fine. So we have Bam and Django, they are Mauldalorians, so their basic is not going to increase the turn meter of the dragon when they hit him, and it will also apply tenacity down, which will remove stacks of defiance. So all of that is very good for us, so basic the dragon whenever you can with them, because like I said, they're not going to give him turn meter. Cad Bane, Greedo, and Gamguard are all Hutt Cartel guys, so all of them will be able to explode the bombs in one hit and replant them very often. So right now we're not using the special with Cad Bane, we're waiting for the dragon to hit someone first. There we go, now he hit someone and we have 41 stacks, and here, this is the key part of the run. If Cad Bane doesn't land his stun with his special one right here, you won't be able to get the Gamguard back, and so you have to restart. So here, of course, is the run where I got it, but it took me like 5 or 6 attempts until I got it. As you can see, he just lost 8 stacks of Defiance. Now we're gonna use the Ballista, which removes 32 stacks. I guess I use the basic. The basic applies Sensi down, which removes 1 stack, so that's good too. Here I could also use the basic because it's a Mendo. No, I went for the Ballista. And there we go. Now we got the guard back, and now we can keep going. So now, this team. Keep in mind, right now it's bugged. Something to do with the swallow, I think. As you can see right now, when I hit the enemies, I don't gain a lot of turn meter, but soon I will be gaining a lot more. And so you can basically run a loop on this boss. Whenever you deal damage, after the second swallow, I think you gain something like 30% turn meter per damage. And so the dragon is not going to gain a lot of turn meter, only when he's hit by any of the Hutt Cartel guys. Which is why with them I try to only hit bombs. And then you have Cad Bane, with his special one he can remove turn meter. And so you can keep the dragon in check and prevent him from taking any turns. And that's how you can get all the way to the max. But they're going to nerf that. Keep that in mind, guys. So you should not... If you don't have the team geared up, don't spend gear on it, because it's going to be nerfed very soon. If you have it geared up though, it's very good because you can get a very nice core very easily. So strategy, Mendo and Django, they're gonna keep basicking the Krayt Dragon. And then the 3 Hutt Cartel guys, they just keep replanting explosives and making them go boom. So you can see right now I'm 57% on the enrage. So most of the damage is actually going to be done post-enrage, because the dragon will not take a single turn once I get there. So yeah, just keep exploding. Just gotta make sure... So the second swallow, as you can see, I'm having a little trouble getting rid of all the stacks of Defiance, but it's fine. Because as long as the dragon doesn't use his special one, you can get the guy back. And on the second one, he doesn't have the spit instantly. So you can take your time to actually... The vomit, I mean, he doesn't have it instantly. So you can take your time to get the guy back. Even if he went underground, right now it would have been okay. So I just keep exploding, and as you can see now, I'm starting to gain a lot of turn meter. look at the turn meter bars on any of my guys that are low. Whenever they use a basic, it goes up very, very fast. Yeah, like you explode one thing, and as you can see, bam, in just 2 hits, went back to full turn meter. Very, very quick. Yeah. And so, yeah, I think it has to do with Swallow. I haven't been able to exactly get why it does that. But yes. Another key part of the thing is using the burn with Django as often as you can. If you manage to land burn on the dragon, it's going to reduce its tenacity by 10%. So whenever you can use the AoE, use it. Because as we reduce the tenacity of the Krayt Dragon, it makes Cat Bane more likely to get his turn meter removal to actually work. Brido also has a turn meter removal on his special too. And Baskamendo also removes some turn meter whenever he uses damage immunity ability. So between the 3 of them, you should be able to keep the dragon in check. And yeah, as you can see right now I'm only at 800k, the dragon reached Enrage. But we can keep going as long as the dragon doesn't take 5 turns, the run doesn't end. And so we're gonna take a truckload of turns, and the dragon is never gonna move. So I'm taking my time because I don't want to mess up with the abilities, and I was doing this on stream, so I was also explaining stuff live. But yeah, basically you can see the idea, right? You just keep using basics with Bam and Django on the dragon because it doesn't give turn meter. And then you explode the things and replant them with the 3 Hutt Cartel guys. And yeah, just keep doing that at 50k at a time, all the way up to 1.8 million damage. So yeah, maybe if I have a little bit of time while this run ends, I will go a little bit deeper into the mechanics of Bam Lead. I think Bam Lead will still have some potential even after they fix him. And that is related to the explosives, right? So Bam Lead gives 2% turn meter to all allies whenever anyone is damaged in the enemy team. And whenever you blow up the explosives, it actually deals damage not only to the boss, but also to the other explosives that are here. If you pay attention, when I blow up one explosive, it will actually remove 1 stack from all the other explosives. So even after they fix it, like as you can see here, it went from 5 to 4. So that's still 8% turn meter gain for all the team whenever you blow up an explosive. So I think we can still get something like on tier 4, difficulty 4, so that the dragon doesn't hit too hard. We can probably go up to 1.1 million maybe, with really good mods and good strategy. Maybe a better team than this one. We'd probably have to remove Gamguard because he doesn't do any damage, and put someone else instead, maybe Mob Enforcer or Skiff Lando, also deals high damage. Yeah, so basically with one of these guys we should probably be able to still get some good damage with this team. Not as much as this one, obviously, like the 1.8 million here is shouldn't be this high, but we can still get some decent damage with this team. Right, and we're getting to the end of the run here. There we go, and that's a win. 1.8 million damage. So that's how I got my first big score. Second one is coming up now, and that's going to be Hutt Cartel. The Hutt Cartel team is very, very, very easy to run. In my opinion, this one is the best team, the one everyone should go for. So I do have the Omicron and Bush, which gives, as you can see, instant payout on everyone. I don't think you need the Omicron if you want to run this team as it is right now with all the 5 guys. But in a video, hopefully tomorrow, that I will post, you will see that you can actually get the max score 2.7 million at Relic 8 levels with just 4 members in your team. You don't need Skiff if you have the Omicron and Bush. And that is a huge help. Because if you don't apply the Omicron on, if you don't have to use Skiff, you can just keep getting into Relic 8. And that allows you to spend those Relic materials on other teams, and that is really, really good news. So yeah, the goal is going to be use as much. Yeah, here I'm making a mistake. I should use just the basics with Jabba, because whenever you use the basic with Jabba and he has his payout, he gains 12% ult charge, and so you can get very, very quickly to the ult. And the condition to win this run is going to be that you ult twice. When Jabba ults a raid boss, of course he cannot one-shot him. So instead what it does, it deals damage 5 times to the raid boss based on Jabba's health. So Jabba should have as much health as possible. And then yeah, you're just gonna keep planting explosives. You cannot get Chrysanthemum back. unless you get like super lucky. So it's fine. Sometimes gonna get eaten. That's okay. It's part of the deal. That's fine. He's just here for that. Here I try to get the big rocket with Boba. I think Boba modded with crit chance would be a good thing. Here, unfortunately, I didn't get it. Boba is also very important in this team because he has a revive. So one of the mechanics in the raid, whenever you deal damage to the boss, he's gonna gain, after the first 300,000 damage, he gains stacking offense, and the more you damage him, the more quickly he ramps up damage. So yeah, as you can see here, he hits really, really hard, but thanks to Boba being able to revive, that buys you some time. And well, here he died before the burrow. Ideally, you want him to still have the bounty hunter resolve after the burrow, but we should still be able to make it barely. So it took me like 5 or 6 attempts because I didn't have quite the right strategy yet. But here we'll be fine. 96% on the ult charge. Now the ult is available. It's gonna kill Skiff, and there we go. We get the ult, and that gives us the last part of damage to get to 1.8 million and finish the run with the max damage. So basic with Jabba, and then with the others you just keep blowing up the explosives. Basically, that's the strategy. Very simple to run, very high damage, highly recommended. Moving on, All Republic. So this one, I like this one, but I'm biased toward mission. I find her kit really cool. Also, she really gets super high damage. So All Republic guys, a bonus in the raid is that whenever they apply a dot, they gain damage. 5% damage if you have a full All Republic team. So whenever you apply a dot, 5% more damage. No, actually, it's whenever you attack out of turn, 5% more damage. My bad. But whenever you attack out of turn, you have a chance to also apply a dot. And mission gains damage for each dot applied. Zalbar gets protection back for each dot applied. So yeah, they're very good. Now, I think this is the optimal team. Jolly will be able to revive the Jedi if they die. Zalbar is here to taunt so that he gets eaten every time. And then Bastila, she has a stun on her special 2. Stun removes stacks of defiance, and you need that. Between that stun and the ballista, you should be able to get Zalbar back every time he gets eaten. Now this team is very clutch to play. I haven't figured out the exact optimal strategy yet. But like I said, after the first 300k damage, the boss is going to stack damage very quickly. And you need mission to stay alive, because whenever you attack out of turn, you also stack damage. So it's a run against the clock to deal damage before mission gets killed, because the dragon has stacked too much damage on his end. And most of his damage comes from his AoE, which is an AoE that dispels first and deals damage then. So you cannot like try to rely on multiple stacks of protection up to be tanky enough. That's not gonna work. So yeah, it's kind of you have to tweak the timing of your damage to basically avoid getting killed too early, and try to get all of your damage at once near the end of the run, right after the last spit of the crate. Because while he's not spitting, he's going to be stuck on Zalbar, who can tank damage. Zalbar is very tanky, fortunately. Yeah, and here I almost got it. I think if I had more time to keep retrying, I could have actually gotten to 1.2 million. I'm running on tier 4 here. But I quite didn't get it. As you can see here, it's already getting a little bit close damage-wise. Revan almost died, but he still has his savior, so he wouldn't have died. But yeah, it was kind of close still. So here I tried to remove the debuffs on Zalbar so that he could counter when the dragon hits him, which was dumb because he's actually going to get swallowed. So he won't be able to counter. But yeah, and here is a part where, like, I'm only at 600k, but as you will see, I will get higher up very, very quickly, because mission now hits very hard. 156k damage here. Did you see that? Because of all the stacks, all the assists that she did, she's now hitting really hard if she crits. And there we go. We got Zalbar back. Here I think I'm gonna go into, and yeah, here's the problem. Unfortunately, the dragon hits too hard and he killed mission, even without a crit. He didn't even crit her, but that was enough to get her out. So maybe she needs to be modded to be tankier. I'm not sure. But yeah, I only got to 926k right now. I'm gonna get some more damage thanks to Raven, but yeah, it's not quite enough, unfortunately. Here I'm trying to get the explosive to blow. You have to blow the explosive while he's burrowed. The more protection up he has, and yeah, and he just one-shot me here. And wait, that was not the right screen. Oops, my bad. Yeah, the screenshot was wrong here, guys. It should have been 926k. So not quite 1.2 million, but not too far off either. Yeah, little mistake in the footage here. Yeah. All right, so moving on to the Mauldalorians. This one I think has very high potential. Can probably get the max damage. Here I got very close to getting it on this run, but I probably retried like 20 times. Remodded a couple times to get this specific turn order at the start. Bo-Katan applies vulnerable on her basic. So with high potency she will get it, and that makes everyone in your team guaranteed to crit on the dragon. And then Sabine, I think Sabine is going to be the best member in this team, even if it sucks giving her up. She has an armor shred on the special one, so you can get more damage quickly. And then her special 2 gives offense up to the whole team, which is also very, very important, and applies a couple of debuffs that remove Stacks of Defiance. So for all those reasons, she's really good. Also, her basic hits the enemy 4 times, I think. Each time she deals damage, because she's a Mauldalorian, she has 75% chance of applying Tenacity down, which also removes Stacks of Defiance. So another good reason to have her. And Mauldalorians don't trigger Turn Meter Gain on the boss, so it's okay that she hits multiple times. It's not going to make the dragon go like 10 times in a row. Yeah, so I think that's the optimal lineup. Armor, of course, is the best because of her Beskar ingots that allow you later on in the run to not die to the dragon damage, because the run is going to take a while. They don't trigger Turn Meter Gain on the enemy. They are immune to poison, which is a very potent debuff from the dragon, but at the price of having 50% less damage. Yeah, the damage reduction is quite steep, and so that, unfortunately, like as you can see, I'm not doing a lot of damage, even if I hit a lot of times. So you have to keep going and going and going, so you have to survive long, and that's where the armor comes in. Hopefully, if she's modded to be fast enough, and she has assists enough, she's gonna be able to put ingots on 3 of your characters before the enrage, or before the dragon starts to hit too hard. And that should allow you to last long enough to get to the max damage or close to the max damage. So here I'm trying to get armor back. You cannot allow anyone to get swallowed. If that happens, you just lose. So here I would go with the AoE, but unfortunately it would blow up the 2 stacks of bombs, and I'm going to need them for when he burrows, which is why I just went for basics. Which still apply tenacity down, so that was enough to get the armor back. And now we're back to hitting the dragon. And so far, as you can see, I didn't use a single character twice, right? Those are all the actual runs that I recorded and registered, which is why I went for this split in my team. So now I can use the AoE, blow 2 stacks of explosive at once. I'm going to replant, trying to get second armor shred here, a couple of more assists. So yeah, whenever he assists Kandros, because he's an All Republic guy, he still has the benefit of his All Republic bonus, which makes him stack damage whenever he attacks out of turn. So Kandros, by the end of the run, actually deals quite a bit of damage. But it's only 1% extra damage because he's the only All Republic guy in the team. So he gains damage 1% at a time, so he has to assist a lot to actually see a meaningful change. Yeah. And then here we're getting close to the point where the dragon deals a lot of damage. His next speed is coming up. So he's going to get a little close here. I think we still survive because Mauldalorians are tanky thanks to more lead and Bo's unique. But as you can see, Sabine lost all her protection and then she got hit again. So it can... This part is where it starts to become a little dangerous. Here I went for the bomb so that I could remove all the debuffs from my team. Get rid of all the days and whatnot. There we go. So now we're at 750k. He's gonna swallow someone again. And the next pit is where it's gonna be tricky. And that's why your choice of ingots matter. I think for the ingots I went for everyone in my team that could deal damage. I think I ended up sacrificing Bo-Katan because you cannot save both Sabine and Bo. One of them has to go. yeah, the next split is definitely gonna kill whoever's not immune to crit. And I think, let's see who I went for. I think I went with Sabine. The Bo-Katan is gonna die. Oh, actually she survived. Okay, well I guess I got lucky. The dragon didn't crit her, but yeah, I was thinking she would die, and I chose to go for more survivability for my guys who did more damage. Because Bo-Katan, really all she brings in is the survivability, which is not going to matter after the enrage because I think he has healing immunity. And the debuffs on the acid spit are no longer dispellable after the enrage. So Bo-Katan can go in the end. You mostly need her in the beginning to keep healing back the damage that you are dealt. And here, yeah, I'm getting to almost 1 million damage. I'm gonna get a little farther. And like Sabine's special went at the worst possible time, so I really think that there is some optimization in the speeds to do here so that she can use it in a better situation. And yeah, here I think it's gonna kill everyone with the speed. Yeah, and 1.84 million. So that's pretty close to 2 million, to 1.2 million, which is the maximum of the team on level 4. But yeah, not quite. And I'm moving on to the Jawas. So that is a run that I wanted to show you, but I didn't keep because it was the lowest of the bunch. But yeah, so the Jawas. And they are bad. There's no other way to put it, they are bad. So they gain stacking damage for each detonator applied. 45% more damage if you have a full Jawa team. But you need a full Jawa team. It's 9% per Jawa. So if you don't go full Jawa, your damage is gonna go down. But if you go full Jawa, you miss the tools to actually deal the damage you need. The dragon gains tenacity up when he follows someone, which makes him resist all the bombs after that. And you don't have a dispel in your team. There's not a single guy in the team that dispels. So that is the first problem, because for half of the run, he's immune to bombs, so you don't stack any damage. And the second problem is that you have no way of getting your Jawa back. Like you have the Ballista, which is going to remove 32 stacks, and then you will need to have someone who applies debuffs reliably. Keep in mind reliably, and you don't have any of them. All of them is like X% to apply this debuff, and they usually don't apply it. The only one that should be able to do something is a Scavenger, because Scavenger is supposed to have 50% chance of putting tenacity down on the enemies for each bomb detonated. So if you have like 20 bombs, that should be on average 10 tenacity down, which by the way cannot be resisted. But as it turns out, it actually doesn't apply it. So you have no way to get the Nebit back after he gets swallowed. Then you lose a Jawa, and yeah, that's like here I'm gonna go, and as you can see, I only got one resisted, which was, I think, not even sure what it was, but he only resisted one thing once, and I think it applies crit chance now or something, and that's it. So yeah, you just can't get the Nebit back. So he dies, you lose one Jawa, tenacity up is still here. Your Jawas, they don't have multi-hit or anything, so it's really hard to also make the bombs go boom at the right time. So yeah, the team, I think I've seen a screen of someone with relic 8 and 9 Jawas getting like something like 1 million the last year. So even in the last year, they're not even halfway through the max potential damage with relic 9 Jawas, which is a huge investment. So yeah, the team is not strong enough, basically. So here, that was my best run. I got 670k, I think. Barely. So they do get a lot of damage near the end of the run, but not quite enough. Like here, I got 100k from using the Ballista, and yeah, that's it. 675, and now he's gonna burrow, and I just won't deal any damage anymore until he comes back up and kills me. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, they are disappointing. I got them to Relic 5 because I was expecting something good from them. I mean, I like Jawas, they're pretty fun, but they're just not good enough here. And now, last but not least, the Tuskens. I think this is the second most important team after the Hutt Cartel. And more specifically, they need to be at Relic 7. So, I know, Tusken Relic 7, you don't really like hearing that, guys, but trust me, they're actually good. Not only in this raid, they are good in PvP too. In Territory Wars, they have a good Omicron of the Warrior. In Grand Arenas, they are good in 3v3 and in 5v5, thanks to Chieftain Lead and Raider Omicron in 3v3. So they are good all around, and they get added modifiers on tier 5 and on tier 6, so even at relic 8 they get even better, which really boosts their damage and their strengths really in this raid. So they really need, I think you really need to get them to relic 7 if you want to perform well in this raid. That's another way to put it, really. Right now mine are only relic 5. The only relic 7 is Raider. I got him there for his Datacron for Grand Arena. So at relic 5 I'm only rolling on tier 4, so they are not very, very impressive, but they get better the more you gear them up. Now, for the actual mechanics of the team. So how it works is they can spam the ballista. And not only can they do that, but they also get more damage on the ballista for each stack of momentum they have. And if the one using the ballista is not an attacker, the damage is further increased on the ballista. So what that means is that you should use the ballista with anyone that is not Raider or Warrior. These are the two attackers in your team. So if you use the ballista with them, your damage will be wasted. So of course, if you need to get someone swallowed back quickly, then yeah, sure, you should use it, right? You don't want anyone to get actually swallowed. But barring this specific situation, you should really strive to use only the ballista with Chieftain, Shaman, and the guy with the name that I cannot pronounce properly, Aurora or whatever. So those three can use it and will actually deal a lot of damage with it. And I think most of your damage is going to come from that and from Warrior. If you have a good Warrior with good offense mods, she actually hits really, really hard. But yeah, with Warrior, there is one thing that you should try to avoid, is using her special 2 too often, because it deals multiple instances of damage, which gives a lot of turn meter to the dragon. So it is fine to do it if it's already at like 85 or 90% turn meter, because he's about to take a turn anyway. But other than that, really try to prioritize Special 1 and Basic. Special 1 is very good, it gives momentum to everyone in your team. And it's even better if you are relic 7, because at the next tier, difficulty tier 5, they gain turn meter when they gain momentum. So this ability and the basic of the Chieftain are both very good, for the reason that yes, they give you turn meter. Here as you can see I'm not gaining any. But yes, I played, I watched a guildmate's run on relic 7, and it's actually completely different. If you actually play these tiers, they're a lot stronger. So I know it's a little annoying that CG is forcing you to do that and is gating the good tiers on higher relic levels, but it is what it is. So if you want to optimize the power of this team, you need to get them to relic 7, all of them. And like I said, it's going to help you in every area of the game. Territory wars, even conquest. They're also very good in conquest. Chieftain leads is very good, like against Mon Masquad, for example, because whenever they gain turn meter, they will gain dots, they will be stunned. Any team that is based on turn meter gains, they will do well against. So yeah, they are not. They are very, very strong, even if they are new. So if you haven't started farming the 2 last ones, you should. But yeah, and here I just lost 2 of them. I think maybe I get to do... Yeah, I should probably get some more damage. I don't remember how much I scored on this one, exactly. So let's see. I don't know if I actually managed to explode the bombs before they explode me. Because if he goes back up, he's definitely gonna kill everyone. This one goes boom. Yeah, actually I managed to get him back up one more time. Yeah, here, for example, that was a good situation to use special 2. The dragon was almost at full turn meter already. Yeah, I think here I made a mistake. Yeah, I used the ballista with the raider. I should have used it with the chieftain. And yeah, 800k, so that's only two-thirds of the max possible damage, so not the best. But if it was at the last year, I would actually been a lot closer to 1.8 million, so that's probably would have gotten twice the damage. So that's a big difference. And yeah, so those 6 runs minus the Jawas I didn't register got me to 6.22 million, I think, which is just above personal reward track tier. So yeah, with the single relic 8, I actually got a pretty good score, which if all my guild got the same score would put me past the 234 million bucks, guild box, which is the one that I think is the one you need to reach to make this raid worth it compared to the 6th raid. So yeah, you need 4.7 million per player. So my advice would be go for Jabba, get the team at relic 8, then go for the Tuskens, and the rest you can keep them at relic 5 or even gear 12, and you should be able to get to 2.7 million, to 4.7 million, I mean, in total. And once you get there, you're good to go. So thank you guys for watching. I will be back tomorrow with another video. I will show you the Jabba team. I think it's the one that makes the most sense to cover. So I will go in more details how to play it, how it works, how to mod each of the characters, how to get the best run. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. And thanks for watching.